has mastered the art of seduction.
Many boot camps encourage men to be assertive.
The woman wants to be turned on.
2, 3, 6, 7.
You know what works and what doesn't.
New person.
First text is going to be just something so that just to start the interaction again.
Okay, so here's another short clip from one of our 7-day workshops in Las Vegas on how to create a great first text that will get her to respond because it evokes an emotional reaction. I'm also going to give you some canned first texts that I use that work really, really well if you can't think of your own first text to send. And how to stand out from the barrage of other guys texting her. It really, really helps to stand out if you want her to reply back and go on a date with you. And what to write if you met her at nighttime versus during the day, because it should be a little bit different. And I'm going to give you the best first text that I use when I meet a girl at a bar or club and I want to get her over to my place that night, because sometimes she can't come straight over. She has to drop off her friends, but after she drops them off, maybe she's still down to meet up. So this text that I'm going to give you works really, really well for that. And before we get started, I want to make sure you grab your free copy of the texting cheat sheet. Click the link down in the description below to get 20 word-for-word texting scripts to get the date and get her wanting you, so that you always send the perfect text message every single time. Okay, so let's get back to the video.
Use callback humor when possible. Callback humor is just recalling, restating something from that initial interaction that was funny, or an inside joke, a tease, maybe a nickname you gave her, and that was really good. So for nighttime, if you're being fun, you should be fun at night. It should be really easy. It should be pretty easy, unless it was just a really quick interaction. She seems into you, and she's just like, I gotta go, we're leaving right now, and then you just get her number. Then there might not be a lot. So then it's good to have a few just default texts that you can send. What are some examples of callback humor that you guys have used? Nicknames, great. Yeah, nicknames. I kept teasing this girl that she was a princess because she said she liked this show, I forget what it was, on HBO, something about princesses. I don't watch TV. What is it? No, it wasn't Game of Thrones. She said that one too, and then I think it was a different one. But yeah, so I teased her that, oh, you're such a princess. She's like, no, I'm not. And then I called her princess, so of course when I text her, hey, little princess, and then whatever's next. What about role plays? Role plays, yeah. So role plays and nicknames can go into role plays. You did like a marriage role play. She says anything during the initial interaction, and you say, oh my God, that's it, we're getting married. Give her a big hug. Introduce her as wifey. Introduce her to your buddies, to her friends. Hey, we just got married. And then you can say, hey, wifey, or hey, little wifey, I so want to break up with you, or we need a divorce. It works well. Because women want to be getting married. And so it feeds into that fantasy. So it's a great role play. And then you can just continue it through text. You can say, hey, little wifey, and then what could you say after that? That would be kind of a hook. When are we going on our honeymoon? Hey, little wifey, when are we going on our honeymoon? Or, hey, little wifey, I got a great idea for our honeymoon, ... That's more of a hook. Now she's going to want to know what's the great idea. And that leads right into a date. You can either tell her where you would go, oversell it a little bit through text. Like just, hey, have you ever been to such and such venue, bar, whatever it is? They have the best whatever, drinks, the best ambiance, music. Oversell it a little bit through your text. Don't go too long. Don't like send her this giant text that like describes the place, or like you like read a review about the venue and you like put it in there. Like it doesn't need to be that long. Like in person, I'll oversell things a lot more. Like last night, I was using the waterfall area, and I told you guys, a lot of you guys use that waterfall. It's great. So I'd say, I'd go to the bar, which is right near the waterfall. Have you seen the waterfall? It wasn't the opener, by the way. It was just to move them. Like open them, start the interaction. Then I would say, hey, by the way, have you seen the waterfall in this club? She's like, no, there's a waterfall? Yeah. It pours like all the way down from the ceiling. It's like this epic like Amazon waterfall, and there's all this shrubbery. You feel like you're in the middle of the jungle. It's amazing. You haven't seen it? oh my God, what's wrong with you? You got to come see it. And I told her friends, hey, I'm going to show her the waterfall. We'll be right back. We're going to be right over there, right? And then some of you guys took the friends and brought them over there shortly after. So I brought her to the waterfall, and it's literally just this water drizzling down the wall. There's some shrubbery on the side. It's cool, but whatever. I didn't lie about it at all. I just talked about it with enthusiasm. And they never say like, oh, this is stupid, you lied, or anything like that. It kind of just shows that like, yeah, I love cool things. Like even little things, I can like really find the joy and like the badassness of it. Okay, so that's an example of like hyping something up, right? That's a pretty long description. I wouldn't do that through text. I wouldn't like hype it up that much through text. Keep your text short as possible. Short as possible. I go through my text usually, I don't spend a long time on a text, but I'll send a text, look at it, is there anything I can eliminate that's not necessary? Everything that you send should be necessary, especially in the beginning. Once things are really on, maybe you've already slept with her, things are really, really on, then you can send texts. You don't have to like comb through your text. It's okay if she says like, hey, how are you? I'm like, oh, I'm having an awesome day, like things like that, it's fine. You don't have to like have these anecdotes and this humor all the time. It doesn't have to be constant. You don't want to overdo things anyway. Do what? ... is fine, because that means there's something coming next. And it doesn't mean that you're going to say something next. It could mean that she's going to go next. So ... is okay. Stuff like that, especially if it's a hook. A hook, like, you're never going to believe what happened to me after you left the club last night. That could be the first text. Use a nickname if there was one, callback humor if there was, and you're never going to believe what happened, ... Good first text, hey little wifey, hope you got home safe. Remember, you have a hot date coming up. Especially if you talked about seeing each other in the future, which is really, really important. Remember to do that during your initial interaction. If you just get her phone number, then it's still okay, but she's not thinking of you in terms of somebody she's going to see again. She's just thinking of you as a guy who got her number. But when you say, hey, yeah, we're going to do this thing, we're going to hang out, you talk about it, you describe it, make her think about it and visualize it, now she's thinking of you as somebody she's going to see again. It's going to be much more solid. She's like, I don't know what the percentage is, but she's definitely a lot more likely to see you again or want to see you again. Or, hey, dork, you kind of impressed me tonight. Keep up the good work. And always sign your first text. Always put your name. Always put your name. Unless you saved your name in her phone, then it doesn't matter. And during the day, I'll usually, and these are generic ones, just in case there wasn't really any callback humor. Maybe it was a short interaction and you can't think of, there just wasn't a lot of content. So daytime one, I might say, hey, so random meeting you just now. Remember, random is a good word because nice is such a crappy word. Great, it's like too generic. Great meeting you. She could take that as like, so great meeting you. But nobody says, so random meeting you. It just sounds weird. It's like, so random meeting you. It's just casual. So random meeting you just now, and then some kind of hook. Nighttime the next day. Text her the next day, unless you want to go for her, or try to get her to come over that night. Maybe she's with her friends, and she couldn't leave with you. Maybe she's the designated driver, and the bars end at 2 a.m., and you kind of indicate that, yeah, you drop your friends off, and then maybe we'll meet up later. Let's grab a milkshake. And then you text her at 2:15 or 2:30. It might take her a little bit of time to drop her friends off, or 3, and then just say something like, whatever it is that you're doing, like milkshakes at 3 a.m. rock. And then I've done this, and then the girl says, oh my God, I want a milkshake. Okay, meet me at such and such. That's all you got to say. And promise to behave if you want to throw that in there. A little restriction. Don't overdo that. Remember, don't overdo anything. Anything that's overdone kills it. Loses its effect. So, once in a while, throw those little restrictions in.
Thanks for watching, man. And again, I want to make sure you grab your free copy of the texting cheat sheet because it contains 20 word-for-word texting scripts to get the date and get her wanting you. Just go down to the description right now, click the link, and I'll send it directly to your email. And I look forward to seeing you in another video.
Come here.
No.
No, that would be bad. I'd barely
No. You're crazy and you make me.
I'll make you my Miami girlfriend for the next 5 minutes. That's it. Then it will be okay.
Yes.
Okay. Are you giving me a twirl?
Yes.